that. Yes, it says live on Facebook.
All right.
Welcome again, everybody. Thank you for being here in our series of young women entrepreneurs, and also people helping people. We are here to help other people in many, many different ways. And today we have a very special young entrepreneur. Her name is Jillian Beckham, and all the way from South Carolina, who is going to talk to us about what she's been doing, her background, and how did she discover this new business, home business that it's allowing her to have the freedom that she was looking for. Jillian, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Monica. Well, thanks so much for having me again. This is really exciting. Um, and so, yeah, so I am right now a natural health and wellness copywriter. And so I'll kind of get into that more later of what that actually means. But my history of getting to this point is kind of, it's three-pronged. And so, I had my entrepreneurial journey, I had my journey to becoming a writer, and my natural health journey. And so all those three things kind of came together, and that's how copywriting came about. And so, as far as like being an entrepreneur, going back, my first career was as a speech pathologist. But I liked it. It was going well, but then my husband's job moved us to Australia, and I couldn't work for a while due to visa situations. And pretty much as soon as we got our visas sorted out, I found out I was pregnant with our daughter. And so then, I kind of did a bit of job searching, while I was pregnant, but eventually just becoming a speech pathologist there was kind of put on hold. So then, had our daughter, and I was staying at home full time with her. And my husband was working full time. And I kind of learned the hard way that being a full time stay at home mom just wasn't for me. And I was lacking like fulfillment and purpose. And logically, I knew that raising a child, that is very purposeful. But it just wasn't really like filling me up. And at the same time, my husband was not happy at his job. So he was jealous of me being at home with our daughter all day and not working. And I was jealous of him getting to go to work and kind of have life outside of being a parent. And so, you know, at one point we just said enough is enough. And we packed up our things because he quit his job, and his job was what was holding the visa for us to stay there. So we packed up our things, we traveled for a few months, and landed back in the States just for a total life reset, And so we both knew we wanted to find something where we could share the roles of parenting, both be working part-time on our own time, have location independence, and have control of our time. And so the problem these days I found is there are like too many options. I would search online for, remote jobs from working from home, and you get lists of just like over 100, you know. And so where to even start?
Start, yeah.
Yeah,
Overwhelmed,
it
overwhelmed.
was really overwhelming. I had Google Docs of lists and bolding ones that were of interest to me, but then do I have the skills to do that? And, just it took a while to kind of like narrow it down for both of us, actually. And so that's kind of what brought me to writing. Like, I've always loved writing. So I found myself going toward these writing ones that I would always find. And I was always writing in my spare time. I remember in college, I had a blog just like for my friends, talking about I don't even remember what. And when we first got to Australia too, since I didn't have a job, I started a blog especially to let friends and family know, what we were up to and the travels while we were there. But then it kind of came like I liked writing, but it got to a point of like, so what? Like, what's the purpose in me spending all this time doing this? Yeah, I was like sharing things with friends and family, but I could also pick up the phone and do that. And so I started looking into doing a blog on traveling with kids or a blog on traveling as a vegan kind of a thing. And I just didn't really ever follow through on that. And I think it's because I don't necessarily like to be in the spotlight, and just the thought of having to like promote my own blog and do that, like, I don't know, it just didn't feel right to me. And so then I moved on and I tried proofreading as kind of like a work from home job. And that was all right. But like some of the things that I was proofreading were just so bad. I was practically rewriting them anyway. So I thought, well, why don't I just write these things to begin with? Um, and so then that eventually led to copywriting. But with my health journey, um, like thankfully, a lot of people come into natural health because they've had some big health crisis. And that wasn't me. I just kind of came into it slowly. And like the more I learned, the more I wanted to learn. And it just kind of became this side passion hobby of mine. But I didn't ever have any big health problems. Like I said, first of all, I was young, and then I was into this natural health, natural eating. Like I didn't have to go to the doctor. But then when I got pregnant with our daughter, I of course did just a ton of research on best practices and what the statistics said about, more traditional approaches as well as, more alternative approaches. And so, but then when I went to my doctor, I found myself always having to say like no to procedures and medications that I knew that the research wasn't supporting. And when I kind of tried to ask her like, well, why are we doing this? Her answer was always just kind of like, well, that's the way we do it. That's, and to me, that was really frustrating. And we tried to hang in there with her. I don't know why. Like, I would feel like I was hurting her feelings or something if I switched doctors for a while. And looking back now, that's silly. We should have done it sooner. But eventually we switched doctors, and it was just like, this big sigh of relief. We started seeing somebody that was able to give me the whys, understood when I didn't want something. He gave me facts and statistics and then said, here, now it's your decision what to do. You are the person that is having this child. And at the same time, I started seeing a chiropractor, an acupuncturist, a couple years later, a naturopath, and just like the difference in like the healthcare that I was receiving and the type of care was so drastic. They all listened to me. They were interested in understanding the whole picture and in healing me, not just covering up the symptoms, kind of a thing. And so that kind of leads me all the way back to copywriting.
Wow, what a journey. Now,
Yeah,
but did you actually study like any holistic or nutrition or all nothing, right? You just
no,
happened naturally.
it's all just like self-studied from personal interest. But then it gave me for my writing, like the so what? Like, why am I even writing? What's the purpose in this? But if I'm writing for these like naturopathic doctors and stuff like that,
You believe in them and you believe in what
yes.
you're
And
doing. It's
I want to
different.
help their businesses. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I want them to succeed because they've helped me so much. I know how much of an impact they can make, but they don't necessarily have the time to write blog posts, write their emails, or they don't want to, they don't have the skill set to, or just like they have a lot going on with running a business and seeing patients and everything like that. And
So
so,
that's where you come in. So that's where you come in. You help them. Yeah, more specifically, like you help them with whatever they need to write. When they have to write emails or newsletters, right?
yeah, yeah. And so I always kind of explain it to people as from what I do with copywriting is I write content with a purpose other than entertainment. Like a lot of blog posts can be considered like entertainment, but I'll write maybe a blog post that is informational, but it ties to a service they offer, or something like that. So they learn a little bit from the blog post, and then, hey, I happen to offer this service, so it's content with a purpose at the end. Or I write an email newsletter that then tells people to go check out that blog post, or to check out, hey, we have this new product or this new promotion. So it's always like writing with a purpose is basically how you can explain copywriting. Traditionally it was more like sales newsletter or sales letters and advertisements, and that still definitely is part of copywriting, but it's kind of just with the internet has expanded a lot. So I love what I do, and I get to keep learning about these things, and if someone wants me to write about something that I don't know yet, that's really exciting for me because then I get to learn about something else.
Of course,
So
of course. And now, for the people out there who, listen to you and they don't know, maybe they didn't even know that this was an option,
mhm,
right?
yeah,
So, and this has given you the opportunity to work from home, and you have a daughter, so it gives you
yeah.
the freedom. And now, how do you do it? You approach any health care provider, or they have to be specific? This is your target market. This is
Yeah, it is. Like, I have a target market, but I'm willing, like, if I believe in what you do, like, then yes, absolutely.
anybody could be your client.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Wow,
Um
that's
and
interesting.
so yeah, and you're right. It's completely changed our lives. Like, first of all, like, I appreciate the time that I have with my daughter now. And I've just seen the relationship between my husband and my daughter completely transform, when they get to spend that much more time together. And I've like purpose and fulfillment, and we're all just happier, in general. And, even little things like we were talking before this about how we take Tuesdays off instead of Saturdays because we like to go hiking, and we like to go hiking when there aren't that many people out on the trails. And it just gives us the flexibility to do that. So
That's the
yeah,
beauty.
it's changed our lives.
That's the beauty. And now, do you have some tips for entrepreneurs looking to grow or market their business online?
I do. So for anybody that's an entrepreneur, a business owner, if they have a website in general, something that I see people doing incorrectly is like trying to sell themselves with their credentials or with their, like why they're qualified to do this, when really you need to take the other perspective and make it about them, make it about the customer, make it about the client. Like, people are interested in themselves, especially if they don't know you yet. They don't want to necessarily hear like where you went to school. They want to know, how can this person help me? And so you got to make it about them and what benefits they're going to see, what benefits and how their lives will change from seeing you or from buying your product, or something like that. Like, you always just have to keep that in mind. Like, no offense, but they don't care about you that much. They care about themselves. And that's why they're thinking about coming to see you or thinking about buying your product, kind of a thing.
You have to turn
And
things around. You have to turn, yeah. It's
yeah,
all about
yeah.
giving instead of taking, and focusing on yourself. You have to focus on them. Yeah.
Right, exactly. And, credentials and stuff are important. Like, if you're going to see a doctor, you want to make sure that they've studied and, know things, but that it doesn't need to be focused on. That's not the focus. So,
Exactly. Perfect. Wow, beautiful.
yeah.
Useful tip. Yes.
Yeah.
That some people forget, many people forget.
Yeah, because it's your life. You went to school for how many years, or you studied for this much. To you, that's really, really important. But to your client or to your patient, that's less important than,
It comes
like, how are
after.
you
It
going to
comes
change their
after,
life?
after a few years. After, oh wow, you went to Harvard. Oh yes, I went to. You know,
Yeah,
but yeah, it shouldn't be the focus of
yeah.
the conversation. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's a wonderful tip. Wonderful tip.
Yeah.
Let me
Another one that
yes.
I was gonna say is um, build an email list now. Because email marketing is just like one of the best investments of your time and of your money right now because, you know, well, and you have to use it. You have to actually send emails to people, but, it builds relationship, it builds trust, and it's like your words and your voice and you are getting delivered straight to them. They don't have to go searching for you online. They don't have to go visit your website. It just shows up in their inbox and it's there. It's zero effort on their part, really, other than to hit, open email.
Click.
Yeah, exactly. And they signed up to hear from you. So they want to hear from you. And so just whether it's telling people about a blog post or a new product or a new promotion or something like that, it's just one of the best things that you can do. And I've heard somebody else, that specializes in online marketing say, like, the best time to start an email list is yesterday. And the second best time is today.
Is
So
it?
just yeah, if it starts with 5 people, great. Let's start with 5 people and keep it going from there. So,
It's true. The other day I was like, because everybody's like, oh, social media, social media. Oh, email marketing is not. It's dead. And many people say, no, no, it's not. And
mhm.
it's alive and kicking. So
Yes, talk to any copywriter and you'll find out. Well, and the thing with social media is like they can change the algorithms on you at any moment and completely uproot all your followers or how things work on there. Email is always going to be email. Like you send it, they get it. So
exactly, and it's been like that for 30 years. So it's going to 20 years. I don't even know how many now. Let's not
yeah,
count how many.
yeah. But you just have more control over it. It's yours. So
Wow, very, very, very good tip. Yes, let me see if we have some other comments here. For the moment, now I'm checking Facebook. That was yeah, very nice. Well, I have a newsletter that I want to create, and I'm going to use your services very soon.
I would
So,
love to do that.
and we you put your information, right? We put your information where people can reach you in case they need help with exactly. So you write newsletters, um,
Blog
just
posts,
blogs,
ebooks,
ebooks.
you know, and like I said, like websites, like what goes on your home page, what goes on your services page, what goes on your about page, everything like that too.
Wow.
And, you know, making it so that people can find you on Google.
Ah, you can do that too. You know how.
Yeah, well, that's something else I was gonna say is like something I see people doing is not really taking advantage on their website of keywords. So a keyword is what someone puts in online, like in Google, to try and eventually find you or find somebody else. So like let's say you have a services page of your website. A lot of doctors have services pages. The title of that page should not be services because no one's typing services near me. Like what does that even mean? So you want to say women's health naturopathic services, as the title of your page, because someone might be typing into Google women's health naturopath near me. And so you just need to do like little things like that. Or on your about page, you don't want to just have the title of it be about us because no one's searching in Google for about
About
us near me. You want it to say acupuncturist in Greenville, South Carolina. And because that's what people are searching for. So those kinds of little tips and where to put those
they
keywords.
make a huge difference. Those little tips.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so that's one of those things that I help clients with a lot as well. So,
Wow. Well, that's very useful. All very, they seem like, simple things, but then you realize that those simple things can make a huge impact on
mhm,
on the number of customers that reach you and they get to know you. So,
yeah. And you
yeah.
just don't know what you don't know, but now you know.
Ah, now I know. Now I know. And everybody. So wonderful. Well, thank you so much. This has been very, very interesting and useful,
Good.
especially in these times that everybody is online. And it's an option for people who don't know what to do or where to look, as far as on the
Yeah.
side of the job and on the
Yeah.
side of offering your services. They will find you on this post. We're going to put all your information.
Good.
And thank you so much
Well,
for
thank
being
you.
here. I wish you good luck. I wish you, a lot of growth in the near future.
Mm.
And let's see. I hope to see you again soon
Yes.
also. And I thank you again
Well, thank you. This is
for
amazing that you
sharing with
post this for people.
yes, for all of us,
Yeah.
this very useful information.
Yeah.
And good luck,
Thank
and thank
you.
you, everyone. And we see you very, very soon. Thank you for being here, and until next time.